Hello again, everybody. Jim from Jim's Holiest of Coleus. All right, my germinations are starting to really take off, and I got a couple of questions. I got some good questions about when do I repot my Coleus and so forth. And I have a specific thing that I do. I use my pods, and because I grow, generally I germinate for between 3 to 5 Coleus seeds per pod. I mean, that's the limit, 5. Although there might be a few that I've overseeded. What I have to do after a while is separate them. And when I separate them, it's when I pot them. So what I do is I buy a whole bunch of these. These are like 3-inch plastic nursery pots. I get them at the dollar store, but I like to buy them in bulk. On Amazon or eBay or whatever, but they're soft, and I usually get a couple of years out of them. And each year, I wash them out good and reuse them. So, but anyway, I'm gonna shoot a quick video on how I repot some of these Coleus plants, and this is just sort of a guide for you to tell you maybe what's a good size to when you want to repot your Coleus, and it all depends on what you're gonna do. And I like to get them into these nursery pots because that's when the growth really happens, because they're in their pots, they're in potting soil. I could put a little bit of time-release fertilizer in there, not a lot. You don't want to burn your Coleus because remember, these are still pretty young. So, and I've done that over the years. I try not to rush myself, be patient, because there's years that I've made that mistake and I put them out of my greenhouse. And it did more damage. Same thing with overwintering, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but this is just the advice I can give everybody is be patient. Everybody wants to, as myself included, everybody wants to rush, get into spring, and you're tired of winter. You got your plants growing indoors. You want to get them out. I want to get into my greenhouse, and I want to get my plants going, but I made the mistakes where I rushed things too much, and it ended up setting me back because it did some damage to my Coleus, and I had to lose some of the foliage, and I had to regrow. So that's the best advice I give you is be patient. But again, we're gonna repot. We're gonna transplant, separate some of the larger Coleus that I have. Some of them grew a little faster than others. That's the thing with some seeds. Some seeds grow a little faster. Some Coleus grow a little faster than others. So, and again, when I do sow my Coleus seeds, I spread them out over the course of a couple of weeks. So I don't have to go nuts and separate and repot and pot all of the Coleus at once, because it's just crazy. It's just me. Okay, so again, if you've been following along, you know me. I'm always boasting about my bay window, and this is it. This is it. I have just one rack in right now, and I'll bring in another rack. And here I have some of my overwintered. Again, if you're familiar with my channel, this is my Lord Baltimore, and I got some overwintered Coleus, and there's a poinsettia I've had for many, many years. So anyway, this is what I do. This is just an initial. I use the catering trays. I like them. These are the 3-inch nursery pots I was telling you about. They're nice and soft, easy, you stack them. I rinsed them out. Last night I rinsed them all out with hot water. I don't use soap. I don't use any kind of, nothing that can contaminate or leave a residue. I just regular hot soap, hot water, rinse them out real good, let them dry overnight. So I have, I expected just to maybe get this done for today. So these hold about 13 Coleus, and I'll generally put 1 or 2 Coleus per pot. And again, I have quite a few of these. I have more of them in my greenhouse, and eventually I'm going to bring in another. I'll bring in another tray. I'm sorry, another rack from my greenhouse outdoors. And then once the weather turns and it's hot out, or temperatures stay above 60, 65 at night, then I'll bring everything out to my greenhouse outdoors. But this is really how I prepare myself for now. And again, I have my Miracle Grow potting mixture. Make sure you get potting mixture. Don't use topsoil. Don't use soil from your backyard, because especially, I mean, you can bring in insects and so forth. It's just not good. I like to use a good quality Miracle Grow potting soil. It's either in the green bag or the blue bag. The blue bag is the moisture control. It has vermiculite, other moisture retentive additives that just help so you don't have to water as often. Although I'm very careful with my Coleus. I make sure that I water them. But if I'm away a day or two and they do get dried out, they're not gonna, the soil won't be bone dry where it's really damaged the Coleus. So, all right, so let's go take a look at real quick short video, just to give you guys a little jump start ahead. I know some of you are itching to get moving and get your Coleus into pots. So, okay, so let's get going. Okay, so as you can see here, see the little speckles? That's like a vermiculite. Those actually absorb moisture, water, as you water. So when the soil is void of water, it dries out, those little white, they almost feel like foam or vermiculite. Those retain water, and also there's some fertilizer mixed in with these this potting mixture. So this is basically what I do. I just fill up each tray. Once I get one tray done, then I'll start to transplant each individual. I'll separate each individual pod. Okay, so here we are, we're all done. And just a note, side note, if you can't get the blue bag, a Miracle-Gro potting mixture, or if you don't have Miracle-Gro by you, any name brand, Jonathan Green is good. If you can't find anything, you can use potting mixture from a dollar store, but it's a little harsher. It might have more sticks and so forth in it. You might not get as best results. I would just recommend mixing in some time-release fertilizer, just a little bit into each pot, into the soil itself. So, okay, and just, you're probably wondering, I'm on my dining room table here, so I have an understanding wife. But anyway, I try to keep it neat. I use these trays when I pot, because obviously I'm going to separate some of the soil, those that I have to separate, so whatever excess falls off is right here, and then I reuse that soil. But basically what I'll do here now, I have two. I'm going to put these two, and I'll dig a hole through the center of this. All right, so here's another one. So here's one that's it's like 4. So you're not gonna hurt them. And 1 and 2. You can actually separate them like that, gently. If you have to, if you have them that many. And you can see the roots are still good. I'm going to put 2. Real gentle. Now you see, I don't really need a lot of this soil. And again, don't worry if you lose some of these little, early earlobes. They pretty much did their job already. Here we go. And just sprinkle a little bit of time-release fertilizer. And then we repeat. Again, Miracle-Gro. Okay. Try not to bury the little ears. And I'm packing it in pretty well, but not crazy. You want to, and don't worry if your Coleus is leaning over a little bit. They're going to move with the light. They're going to move with the light. And that doesn't matter, so. And again, once I get the tray full, I'm gonna bring it over and just sprinkle, make sure that the soil is moistened real well. So. All right, so here they are. They look pretty good. This is actually the day after, just in closing. They look pretty good. They initially look kind of straggly. You kind of almost feel like you're going to lose them, but that's a little bit of a shock. Always remember, there's a little bit of a shock when you're separating your Coleus germinations and you're repotting them. But be patient, don't get discouraged. Even if you lose a few, and I always do, especially when you're growing so many. But they look beautiful. And these are still young, lots and lots and lots of growth to be expected. That's beautiful. I cannot wait to see that one develop. I'm keeping my eye on that. And we'll follow, if you're following along, follow along and keep track of this baby with me. If you don't subscribe to Jim's Holiest of Coleus, please do. And also Instagram, Facebook, if you have questions, Instagram is the best place to ask me. So follow me on Instagram, and you can shoot me pictures and questions on my messenger there, or Facebook. And thanks for watching Jim's Holiest of Coleus. Stay tuned, another week or two, we'll do an update on how these babies are going.